TMT stock market strategy video for Tuesday, May 3rd. Well, we got a little bit of a push. We were talking about yesterday's video how we're looking for a little bit of a bounce. Mutual fund inflows are going to help catch a little bit of a bid. Markets were pretty much down 2 or 3 days last week, so rightfully so. Markets pushed up, but in a very subdued type of trade, right? We moved up pretty much around like 10 o'clock, and then we just kind of sidestepped and went higher, but not a lot of conviction. So, I do believe the bigger move is going to be down in equities, and the markets will top during earnings season, okay? And that's going to be the next couple of weeks. I do believe in the short term, the markets will top. There's plenty of signs out there. Stocks above the 50-day moving average, still at lofty levels. So we need to pay attention to what's going on around us. So let's take a quick look. We'll go through the indexes. Let's look at the UUP, which the dollar, as you know, has been getting decimated. And also, guys, if you like, I put out a special edition video on gold. Take a look at it on the YouTube channel, TM Technicals. You can see that there if you don't, if you didn't get it. It's a nice little video specifically on gold, which obviously the dollar affects in a big way. You can see here we had a big bullish falling wedge. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our fifth wave down. And let's look for a little bit of a pop. Big volume here, so it could have capitulated today. Not sure if that's the case. We need to monitor that for tomorrow, for today's trade. But keep an eye on that. I am looking for a capitulation in the dollar. And the dollar yen actually was higher today, where the DX, the dollar index, was lower. So that's something that's interesting me. Because if that's the case, it'll put a cap in the commodity rally that we're having. And we have commodity inflation across the board here, as we all know. Now, let's take a look at the VIX, the VXX. And as you can see here, it had, let me just correct this. Sorry about that. This thing moved. It has a big, beautiful bullish falling wedge. I've shown this many times last week. I said, guys, take a look at this. We did get out of the channel, and we went back in it again. Or let's just say we back tested this upper end of this channel. That is quite normal for a bullish falling wedge, as long as we don't get down to here, and then that wedge will fail. But it's normal for a back test, so I am looking for, you know, maybe the VIX get back to the bottom of this channel, somewhere in here, the bottom of this, the bottom trend line, and then start to rally. So that would give us a bid in equities, maybe a few days this week, even, you know, sideways consolidation, pausing, and then look for maybe a market sell-off in the next week or two, and that'll kind of put in a tail end of earnings season in place. So I am looking for that, lower prices in equities, but as in real short term, the next few days, I am looking for the markets to move a little higher. And I also, and I mentioned gold yesterday, and I put the gold video out, I'm looking for a small pause, pullback in gold, maybe down to the 1185, 1190-ish, and that's where you can start probably nibbling in the gold trade. I do like gold in the long term, but not at these levels, guys. Let it come in. Gold will come back and will come in. Believe me, there's always a revision to the mean. It's going to happen, okay? All right, now let's take a look at the indexes here. We have the spiders, and as you can see here, did okay. Kind of bounced back up. We were lower and then bounced back up again, but as you can see, we're starting to roll over as the index is moving higher today. We do have our market divergence in our MACD and, of course, our RSI while it's moving lower, okay? So that's a sign that you need to be cautious about. I'd like to see this actually roll right back into here, even make new highs on low volume and then sell off. That's going to be a great opportunity to get short right up in these areas, all right, for the market. Now let's take a look at the IWM. You can see here we did break back above this downtrend line, which we've been in for several months now. And you can see here, let me grab that cursor. You can see that we have lower lows and lower highs. And then, of course, we broke that bearish symmetry by making higher highs and higher lows. So it still has a lot of work to do, but it is being constructed that we're hanging above here. So I'm thinking maybe it touched the highs of this swing high, or maybe a little bit higher, but then start to sell off again. Okay, it is still lagging. It is one of our leaders, but it is lagging. All right, here's the diamonds. It's a lagging index, at least to me. I don't pay too much attention to it, but as you can see, we had a nice big uptrend channel, bullish falling wedge, if you will. We broke down. Now we're making a bear flag. We should move lower on the diamonds as well, okay? Now, lastly is the Qs. This is really the culprit. This is what's taking everything down from last week. Real bad-looking chart right now. You can see we had a big bearish rising wedge, broke down, actually triggered and now we're starting to move down here. So, maybe a lower high into this area of resistance of 110 and then a sell-off. So that's what I'm looking for. Keep an eye on these support areas. These are the two big support areas on a daily chart, all right? Guys, I hope it helps. Use caution out there. Definitely use your stops. We have a pickup in volatility, so you need to adjust your share size and, of course, your stops accordingly. Have a great day. We'll speak to you tomorrow, everybody. Take care.